Hey there, so today we have another battle beers, and this is between 2-month-old Headhunter and 2-week-old Headhunter, courtesy of Mark, so thank you so much. This is the freshest stuff I could sort of get at my market. I mean, I got this fresher than 2 months. I think we received this like a couple weeks ago, so the freshest I can get, I could see is probably within about a month and a half, and then there's just... there's nothing I could do to beat the fact that Mark sent this earlier this week. You know, I'm doing this on the weekend. So he sent this like a week fresh, and it's like I'm right under 2 weeks fresh on this. So that's absolutely insane. He must have literally like picked it up from the brewery within less than a week and then sent it to me. Crazy. So we're gonna do with the 2 month, then the 2 week. All right. First thing you're gonna notice. Wow. Lighter, hazier, darker, clearer. Right? No. Yeah. Jeez. The light I only have on one end. Yeah. I mean, you guys can see it, right? I'm not crazy? Yeah. A little bit more clear here, but certainly darker, which is crazy. I have no clue. These two honestly look like two different beers. No, they're a little bit closer in the light. I think that's the problem with me having... I think that's better. I only have one of the big lamp lights going on, so like... Yeah. It's hazier here. Whatever. I think the appearance seems quite different. You guys have a camera, but it's definitely clearer here. That's one thing I tell you. Big, ripe, tropical, rich grapefruit, a little bit of that pear candy thing going on. Big dankness in the back end. Yeah, really nice. Big dank beer, long bitterness, long hop character. A little bit of this kind of like pillowy, cotton candied malt sweetness in the middle. Dry beer, long-lasting bitterness, absolutely delicious. Okay, that's a different animal. This is dank, but also richly tropical. I get like papaya, pineapple, mangoes, covered with a lot of this kind of like heady topper kind of dank character. But it's a melange with like big juicy tropical fruits and big ripe mangoes, grapefruit and like mandarin orange. I know a lot of these tasting notes might come off like hazy IPA tasting notes, but for West Coast, very fruit forward. Jesus Christ, cheers. Okay, similar, but this is sharper. Like. Yeah. Whoa. Okay. It hits with an onslaught, like Heady Topper. It hits with bitterness, dankness, echoing character that sort of just sits on your palate, makes you salivate. What's a good analogy? It's a little bit like umami, but like a little bit like spiciness, or if you ever had like Szechuan like numbing peppercorns, like it's just something on your palate that doesn't seem to want to go away. It just lingers and lasts and echoes, and your palate, like my palate, keeps salivating because there's a long-lasting bitterness. But the bitterness, ideally, like sort of, should be comparable, like the objective amount of bitterness. But it's the amount of hop flavor that sort of just like keeps like making your gleeking, right? It keeps making you salivating, like. Yeah, well. Again, Heady Topper is such a unique beer, but to even have any relevant tasting notes to such a unique beer is a big compliment. Big bitterness, big dankness, big lingering hop character. Sort of reminds you of Heady Topper. A little bit of kind of like sweet malt character too that Heady Topper has. Again, these are the things that I throw you to Heady Topper really being a West Coast beer, not a hazy IPA, not what we consider now like hazy New England blah blah IPA things. It really is more of a its own kind of American IPA, West Coast IPA, whatever you call it, kind of animal, versus a true hazy IPA, right? Or what even today, like today's hazy IPA is completely different from what was being produced like 10 years ago, right? So that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, honestly, this tastes like hot garbage next to it. Well, not that bad. To a very critical palate, you'd think it's hot garbage. This is really good, but it's crazy that a month and a half makes these so vastly different. This relies a little bit more on malt sweetness. But it just doesn't have that kind of like razor edge sharp echoing hop character that is so definitively special in this one. Again, I would argue it takes a quite discerning palate to really notice these things. But not very. They're noticeably different. But like, I'd say like you wouldn't. If you weren't looking for it, you might not be able to notice. But if you're consistently drinking super, super fresh Headhunter, attacking, looking for the tasting notes, you're going to have this and you're like, what is going on, right? And that's sort of what happened to me. You know, I was consistently drinking. You know, you guys know when Headhunter came out in the market, I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest beer of all time. And I was having it like, you know, consistently like a can after work every day. And then I'd shoot videos for you guys. So like throughout a week, I'd probably drink like 1 6-pack, you know, spread out. And then all of a sudden, like, you know, doing that 2, 3, 4 weeks in, I cracked a can all one day. And I was like, what happened? And so, unfortunately, I love complimenting this beer, but it doesn't hold up amazingly well. You're not going to get this experience 2 months in. It's just not going to be there, unfortunately. But it is what it is. So it's fleeting. Enjoy it when it's dumb fresh because it just does something so special. But it's also super amazing when it's like this. Like it, you know, I've been drinking this batch from work all week and I've had no problems. If anything, I thought it was absolutely amazing. And you crack this guy and you're like, holy moly, right? So that's really fun. Headhunter fans, let me know what you think. This was really fun, and I appreciate you, Mark. Again, there's zero chance I can get anything that's like I'm not getting batches that are week fresh. The freshest again, I've been seeing are like a monthish, 5 weeks, right? So let's keep hoping they send fresh Headhunter because even at its non-peak stage, still world-class IPA, still arguably one of the greatest. Well, sorry, still arguably one of the greatest IPAs produced in the country, and objectively one of the greatest IPAs produced in the country. Like objectively, GABF 2023 back-to-back World Beer Cup, GABF bang bang. And all the other medals behind it, right? They didn't just win 2 golds last year. They won a bunch of medals before that even. So stupid good stuff. Cheers. Let me think later.